Thank you. Justice Riggs, I was struck by your testimony that you believe that it cost nearly $2 million for your contest involving 68,000 votes. You were an attorney in private practice before you were elected, so you've seen the cost, the legal costs. Is this part of the strategy on the other side to make sure that they spend so much money the average person can't fight them?
Absolutely. And to be clear, my race cost $5 million before Election Day, $2 million after. And I was uniquely situated to take on this fight being a former election attorney. But too many great representatives are going to be deterred from doing this work if you sign up to run and you may be stuck funding litigation to defend your win forever. So there is a real cost to be paid in terms of who steps forward to represent us. There's a real cost to be paid in how people trust the system. And we absolutely should understand it as a cynical ploy to tie up resources and time instead of focusing on the very pressing issues before the people of this country and the constitutional work that people in my seat should be doing.
Professor Levitt, in Texas, what law will be turned to decide what the outcome might be? Is it state law or federal?
So the United States Supreme Court has said that the U.S. Constitution, our federal Constitution, that every elected official in this country has sworn an oath to, prohibits excessive partisan gerrymandering. Unfortunately, in the same paragraph, they also took the federal courts out of the business of policing those claims. And without that extremely important protection, I know that you all tried mightily to pass legislation in 2022 that would have fixed the problem from a legislative end. We still need that legislation badly, and so I thank you for your leadership in helping to bring it back. Then the process falls to state law, and unfortunately, there are few constraints that Texas is willing to abide by. I know that others here in North Carolina has similarly few constraints in state law now, that a panel of the North Carolina Supreme Court has turned its back on what a previous panel had so rightly decided. I will say that this is ultimately likely to come down to the people, whether the voters are going to put up with an attempt to further partisanship over the Constitution. And I will tell you that voters of both parties don't like it. They hate it. Where they've had the opportunity, they voted in staggering numbers against it. If Texas chooses to go through with this particular map, I know there are other states waiting. I hope that retaliation proves still to be unnecessary. I don't like the notion and how it might work for democracy. But unfortunately, there are other states that are only too willing to follow suit, and I think have the capacity to follow suit. I think that Texas is poking a very large bear here, and the voters will ultimately be the ones to have the say in how that goes.
Thank you.